The real reason you're afraid to start that thing that you know you're capable of doing is the lack of confidence. And lack of confidence comes with not trusting yourself yet. And do you know why you don't trust yourself? Because again and again, you've broken your own promises to yourself. Let's get into it. Business can feel very personal and not always in a cozy, fuzzy kind of way. I've figured out a few things along the way and I've got the receipts. Join me as we separate the math from the drama, one business at a time. Let's go. Welcome to the Creative Business Mindset Podcast. My name is Joke. I'll be your host. And today is the start of the Start Afraid series. Two things that keep us stuck from starting what we know we have the capability to do. Confidence. And we're going to go to an unlikely source as our case study for this segment. I watched a Netflix show, Inventing Anna. It's actually based on a true story. If you haven't seen it, go watch it and then come back and leave your comments. Let me know what you think. And this girl completely invented herself. All the things that did not exist, and they were all based on lies. So before you switch the channel or before you start throwing tomatoes, I'm not here to promote lies and fraud, but there is something basic and fundamental that we can take away and learn from this story. I started to binge this show as just entertainment, and it was intriguing to me, but it then became a case study because Anna walked into billion-dollar rooms with the highest of the high in New York, and she had zero money. She had nothing to her name. She had no family money, no connections, nothing. She invented it all by her boldness and confidence, and she had no permission from anyone, no invitations except for the ones that she gave herself. So hold on to that. Whether we want to admit it or not, Anna understood something that most creative entrepreneurs miss. She knew that being seen mattered more than being ready. The world will book visibility before they book credentials. And here are some of the things that she got right. She was visible before she was even validated. She showed up in rooms where she had no business being in. This chick spoke with authority that she had not even earned yet. She positioned herself next to people with a lot of power, even though she had zero power, but she could fake it. I'm going to keep interjecting as I speak on this topic that I am not promoting fraudulent activities or building a lie and inventing things that don't exist. It has to be based on authenticity. I just need to say that again and again. So, all of this worked not because this girl was qualified, but because she was visible. Let's keep holding on to that word visibility, because somebody will pay the person who is visible before they pay the person who is qualified because they don't see your qualification. The world will not book you until they know you. Let me tell you a little about a mentee of mine that I coached a couple of years ago. Brilliant woman. Master's degree in interior design. She came to me saying she wanted to start offering sustainable design solutions. And I said, great, tell me more about that. Let me help you build your offer. And she said, well, I first need to go and learn about the history of tie and dye and natural, sustainable dyes and all that. And I'm like, sis, wait a minute. You have a master's degree. That already qualifies you to offer whatever you want to offer to people who don't know as much as you. You already have an audience. Why don't we start from what you know? You already know enough. And what you don't have is the confidence that people will actually pay you for what you already know. And we all get trapped into this. We feel like we need to go learn more of this and know more of that. But we learn it and then we don't apply it. Because the master's degree, she hadn't applied what she learned from that, but she wanted to go learn something on top of it. And then you get stuck in imposter syndrome that is dressed up in form of research and analysis paralysis. And this is the reason that a lot of talent stay invisible. So the question is not, do you have what it takes? Because we can all agree that you do. We do. The question is, are you willing to be seen before you feel prepared? And I know what you're thinking, but Joke, how do I build confidence when I do not feel confident? That is a fair question. And how do I show up when my stomach is in knots? Let's talk about that. Your confidence is going to increase with practice because confidence is not a personality. Let's get that straight. It's not a personality trait that you either have or you don't have. Confidence is a skill, and like any skill, you build it through practice. So Anna did not wake up feeling confident. She decided what story she was going to tell, and then she practiced telling it. Again, let's keep it authentic and real and true. But there is still something to be learned from here. You will keep practicing and telling it until it becomes second nature. Do not wait to feel ready. You decide that you're going to do the thing, and then you practice until it starts to feel normal. That's it. Now, let me tell you something I learned after years of studying life coaching and mental health coaching, going through it myself as a student of life coaching and mental health coaching. Not trusting yourself is directly related to your lack of confidence to make decisions for yourself and about your life. And how does this show up? Again, I'm glad you asked. This lack of trust shows up because you have a track record of not keeping your word to yourself. You wake up saying, I'm going to do this thing today. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write a page, not even a book. But then you wake up and you allow the waves of life to take you in different directions. At the end of the day, you did not do that thing that you promised yourself you were going to do, because anything that you subconsciously tell yourself or you even write down, not write down, is a promise. And when you have a pattern of breaking those promises, you end up feeling bad about the decision you made that had nothing to do with the promise that you made to yourself. And it becomes a pattern. And that pattern makes you develop a lack of trust in your ability to make the right decisions. First of all, you second guess everything you want to do, and then you don't do them. And it gets in the way of everything that you do or don't do. So, how do you begin to build that trust? You start small, like anything else. If you haven't read the book Atomic Habits, highly recommend it. You build it in repetition. Confidence can be built by repeating the same thing. Start with the low stakes. Tell the person next to you at a networking event what you do. And if you've never been for a networking event, go there and be like a fly on the wall. You don't even have to let everybody know you're there. Post something on LinkedIn, send a pitch email, introduce yourself in a Facebook group where you've been quiet. Each small action is evidence that you can do this, evidence to yourself, and that evidence builds confidence faster than any affirmations. But this is the big deal. You have to follow through. You have to keep the promise you made to yourself. And that is how you start to break that pattern to rebuild trust. It's just like any other relationship that you've had that trust has been broken. That is how you rebuild it, by showing up, by doing the thing that you promised yourself, and you start to feel better about yourself. And the second strategy is to look at your own receipts. we all have receipts. You have maybe a degree, you have the work experience, you have the testimonials, even if they are from friends. You have solved some problems in the past that made a huge difference to the people that you helped, even if it was not in a business setting. Those are your receipts. In intro or whatever, I say like I've got the receipts because I have a pattern that I have repeated, done it, and it's shown me the results, and I've helped people. And then write them down. Look at those receipts and past experiences before you post the next thing, before you pitch that thing, before you speak at that event, before. Because you're not starting from zero. You're starting from experience, and you're building on proof that already exists. That is borrowed confidence. Use it, and it's your own experience, your own confidence, regardless of where you are in life. Even if you just finished high school, you already have past experience and a pattern and the receipts of you showing up and doing things that got you so far. Number 3, stop treating fear like it's a stop sign. Fear is not telling you to do not do this. Fear is telling you this matters. It is telling you that you're about to level up. When your hands shake before you hit publish, that is not weakness. That is growth. Anna must have felt some fear. If you watch it, you can tell. She just refused to let her fear stop her. Even though this girl was doing all the crazy things based on the wrong things, so do not let the fear be the stop sign that stops you from doing what you want to do. Now, let me ask you something. Can you see yourself as a successful entrepreneur? Can you see the picture? Like, look into the future. I mean, really see it. Running a business that serves people, or whatever it is that you really, really are nurturing in your heart to do, making an impact, building something that matters. If you can see it even a little bit, that is your sign. That nagging feeling, that bug that keeps biting and never goes away, that is your proof. Now, listen. Not everyone is called to be an entrepreneur, and that's fine. I am forever grateful for all the people who helped me build my businesses. But if you have that nagging feeling and you keep ignoring it, you're betting against yourself. And that is a sabotage of your dreams and your future. Okay, so now think about, where are you investing your time? Where are you investing your resources, your energy, and your skills? Take an audit of what you do day to day and what returns are you bringing in. Are you building something for other people? Great, if that is your calling. Are you investing in stocks? Are you taking a bet on something you have zero control over? Because when we think about investment, now that energy and time and money and all the things, that same investment, take it and start putting it into yourself. Building your own business, building yourself as a leader, into learning new things, into creating something that is yours. I have invested a lot in myself over the years, and I continue to invest, learning new things, building businesses, and I would much rather do all of that for me than put all my chips on things that I cannot control. I'm not an expert to teach you about financial investment. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just investing in things that you have control over, because I bet you if you invest in yourself, you will do everything in your power to not lose that investment. And that is part of diversifying. When you invest in yourself before you invest in other things, you can invest in stocks, you can invest in so many different things. Make sure that is diversified and you're prioritizing your own self. You're investing in your own self, in your business, in your dreams, in whatever it is that you want to do, because there is no investment greater than that. Nobody can take that away from you. Once you invest in you, Even if everything I have today goes away, God forbid, I feel like I will be okay because I have so much more here that I can put into the ring and start making something from the scratch. But if the stocks crash or you put your money in a scheme or a Ponzi and it goes away, it is gone forever. And you have no way of recouping that. But if you have been intentionally investing in yourself and in your dreams and the things that you want to do for yourself, it will always be there. You can always come back to this. Nobody can steal this away from you. Now, people throw around the phrase invest in yourself all the time. They use it to mean learning something new or growing yourself personally. And that is wonderful. And we should all do that. But I find that, like the mentee I mentioned, people stop at the learning. But the biggest component of that thing that you just learned is implementing it, putting it to work. I've heard people say, like, I'm reading 20 books a year, I'm doing this course, I'm doing that, I'm doing that. But when you do not take action on what you learn, then you are just learning to learn. You are not doing all the things, you're not showing up, you're not building your confidence by doing. And it's only when you start to implement that that investment in yourself starts to pay off. Hey, quick word before we continue. If you're afraid to start a new venture or you're ready for the next step but not sure how to get there, I want to invite you to join me inside Business Therapy at jokedurojaye.me. This is where we take it to the next level. We talk it out and map out your next steps so you can move forward with clarity and confidence. jokedurojaye.me. I'll leave a link for you in the show notes. All right, let's get back to the episode. Now, we can't talk about confidence without talking about consistency. Confidence gets you started, but consistency is what gets you known. And the uncomfortable truth is that you will not always feel inspired. You will not feel motivated. And some days you just want to delete your entire business and go find work at Target. I've been there, we all have. But visibility cannot be a sometimes thing. It has to be a system. You need a visibility routine that does not rely on how you feel in the moment. Decide in advance when and where you will show up. LinkedIn, post every Tuesday, every Thursday, pitch one email every Monday, one Instagram story at noon every day, every other day, every week. The specifics do not matter. What matters is deciding ahead of time so you do not have to negotiate with yourself when you're tired, scared, or when you're busy. Your systems will remove the drama, and that is how you build momentum. Anna did not wait for invitation. She showed up uninvited and acted like she belonged. For you, that might look like applying to speak at an event, even though you have never spoken before, but you figure out how to do it. Pitching a collaboration, even though you feel small. Commenting on posts from people you want to connect with, even though they do not know who you are, right? They do not know who you are. Visibility is not about being everywhere. It's about being intentional in the places that matter to you, to your business. And it means sometimes going out of your comfort zone. Nobody ever did anything great in their comfort zone anyway. And Anna walked in like she owned the place. And this is the thing about belonging. It's not something you earn, it's something you claim. When you walk into a room, you get to decide how you show up. You get to decide whether you shrink or you stand tall. Confidence gets you access. Competence will keep you there. Unlike Anna, we need to have both. But the doors will not open if no one knows that you exist. Anna told the same story everywhere she went. She's an art collector. She's a trust fund baby, European banking family. Was it true? No. but it was consistent. And consistency creates credibility. You need one clear story that is true. What do you do? Who do you help? What transformation do you create? Say it the same way every time on your website, in your bio. When somebody asks, what do you do at a party? Say it until people start repeating it back to you. Your story is your resume. And I have had people tell me, let's get into it. Let's go. Let's separate the math from the drama, because these are all the things that I say, and these are the things that I help people do. Separate the math from the drama, because we let drama get in the way, especially as creative entrepreneurs, as talented people. That's what we do. We get into the drama of things and we overcomplicate everything, and I help people get into what is real. And that's my message that I say again and again. So you need to have your own message. Your story is the problem you solve. Get clear on that, and visibility becomes easier. Back to Anna. She hung on to powerful people. She hung out with them. She stayed in expensive hotels. She went to the right parties. This girl positioned herself in rooms where opportunity lived. You do not need a trust fund to do this. You need strategy. Go to the networking events, join the masterminds, pitch the podcast, comment on LinkedIn posts, show up in the digital and physical spaces where your ideal clients and collaborators already exist. Do not wait to know everyone. Do not wait for an invitation. You just need to appear and be in the room and be visible. This chick did not overthink anything. She just moved. She did not wait for the perfect pitch. She pitched anyway. She did not wait to feel qualified. She acted as if she was already qualified. Momentum beats perfection every single time. Every time you do something, you create momentum. And momentum creates opportunities. So stop polishing and start moving, people. Now, let's be clear. We're not lying. We're not faking credentials, God forbid. We're not pretending to be something we're not. Visibility without integrity will not last. It will collapse. Without competence, it will not last. So what we're doing is introducing the real versions of ourselves boldly, even while we're still building. We are talking about things we already know. We are showing up with what we have, exactly where we are. We are being visible with our actual expertise, not invented stories. No. This is the ethical line, and it matters. So here is what you do. You speak before you feel ready. You publish before you feel qualified, and we pitch before we feel chosen. Build your credibility in public, not in private, because it doesn't matter when nobody can see it. Most people have more to offer than they realize, and they're just hiding behind more certification or once I figure it out. And you know what? We are waiting and watching while other people are doing the things that we want to do. And some of us even get mad. I've heard people say things like, oh, they don't even know what they're doing. You feel more qualified than that person. But the difference between you and them, you may be more qualified with all your qualifications sitting in the back row while they're showing up. That is the difference. Visibility will eat you for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and get dessert on top of it. That is how it happens if you don't show up. All of those people that you see as less qualified than you, they are making bank while you're still building the thing, while you're learning more and researching and analyzing. Visibility. It will feel uncomfortable at first, but it's not a red flag. It's your growth edge. Use what you have, say what you do, let clarity catch up. And if you're still telling yourself, I'm not ready yet, let me tell you something. Readiness is not even a prerequisite. Readiness is what happens after you start. So just be like Nike and just do the thing. Let me ask you this though. What is the worst that could happen if you bet on yourself? You might fail. You may have to pivot. You might learn something the hard way. But you know what else could happen? You could succeed beyond what you can even see right now. You could transcend what you thought was even possible. Can you see yourself as that person? The one who has a business that serves people and creates impact and makes money? If you can see it, even just a little bit, you owe it to yourself to try. Now you can take what we talked about today and run with it. Build your visibility routine. Practice your story. Show up in strategic places. Invest in yourself and implement what you learn. Some of you will do exactly that and it will change your business and your life. But if you're somebody who needs support with that confidence, creating those systems and separating the math from the drama so you can move forward with clarity instead of fear, that is what we do inside Business Therapy. I help you show up with intention, build visibility that works for you and your business so you can stop hiding your talent, and most importantly, learn to trust yourself again so you can make decisions with confidence. I'll leave a link for you in the show notes. It's a wrap. Thank you for listening and keep doing all the things until next time. You've been listening to the Creative Business Mindset podcast. Remember to share, like, and subscribe. Thank you for listening and keep doing all the things until next time.